Yo, right guys, it's GameboyLuke here, and welcome back to another video. You guys seem to have enjoyed the Pokemon Sun and Moon demo video that we did last month. We basically opened up the demo, used a bunch of cheat codes to walk around wherever we wanted to, and just kind of dug into the game a little bit and see what was left over. And since then, there has been a massive Nintendo, it's called the Giga Leak. Basically, a whole bunch of stuff has been leaked from Nintendo. Development stuff, prototypes, demos, and speaking of prototypes, we actually have the Pokemon Pearl prototype game in our hands. I'm sure you've seen on Twitter, there's been a whole bunch of stuff being posted. I've done my best to keep my eyes away from it, but I did want to just open this up and react live on video to all of the basically all of the beta and the prototype sprites from the game. So I'm actually going to boot this game for the first time since getting it, and you're going to catch basically my full-fledged reactions right here. I'm going to open it now. Let's just see how it goes. Hey, okay, so it's loading in. What was that? It had a whole little 3D thing, and then this is the title screen? I mean, I know it's a prototype, I know it's a beta. That little 3D work there, they put all that effort into the prototype game. It was kind of cute. Okay, so about an hour later now, by the way, and I did indeed find the next build. As you can see, things look a little bit different too. If I scroll through the Pokemon, we have the better sprites for the original Pokemon. As you can see, the black. I say better, but the more up-to-date versions of the sprites. This is a newer build. I think this was about a month or so after the last one that we looked at. But it doesn't have any of the completed sprites, or many of the completed sprites for the Generation 4 Pokemon. So I'm gonna get through this as fast as I possibly can, which shouldn't take too long when you have speed up button, hey. But when we reached Deoxys last time, there were the Generation 4 Pokemon in the wrong order with the incorrect sprites. After Deoxys is Turtwig, right? So you have Munchlax first, Starly. This order is so out of whack. Electivire, Bulbasaur is here, and that's it, actually. Let's see what they look like now. I don't know whose Cry that is, but it's definitely not Turtwig's. Okay, so Turtwig, okay, you're gonna have to bear with me because my memory on the sprites of Gen 4 are not the greatest. But I know that's wrong. That's 100% wrong. That's what Grottle was gonna look like. And what's actually crazy is the back sprite looks like they had drawn it and then scaled it up in paint, and it's like, the sprites, or the pixels rather, like distorted on the back sprite. Actually, I know what they've done. They've actually cut the top of Beta Grottle's back and just put it on the left. As you can see, that the trees line up exactly the same. So I guess they hadn't done the back sprite for this Pokemon yet. Oh my god. That's Torterra? That's crazy. I mean, the idea of the Pokemon is still there, but it's so different. It really, I'm so interested in like where their design process is, and like how many other Pokemon went through so many of these design changes that we never would have known about until years and years and years. Like it was almost 14 years after it happened. Wow, Torterra. Chimchar looks normal. Monferno, his design is essentially the same, but the sprite is definitely different. That sprite is definitely different. Infernape, actually, yo, this is interesting because he actually looks basically the same as he was, but it looked like it wasn't finished yet, because you can see at the bottom of his legs there are black lines, and like the lines basically outlining the Pokemon, but as you get close to the top of the Pokemon, it looks like it's almost unfinished. It wasn't completed yet, and the back sprite for sure doesn't look done yet. And like this isn't the quality that you'd expect from a finished Pokemon game, of course. So they were definitely, I feel like, in the middle of doing finishing this one. Piplup, Piplup. Oh my god! I think I prefer this. He has the same hands as Empoleon in the finished games, right? I don't believe his hands have the pointy, or the fins rather, don't have the fins, wings probably the better way to describe them. The wings have like the pointed edges, kind of like how Empoleon does. Now I'm actually gonna go look up Plimplop. I have to look up Primplop's original sprite just so I can, yeah. So well, Yeah, it's there. The beginning of it is there, but the claws inside the wing are definitely not there. So that's very interesting. Next is wow. Empoleon sprite was basically finished. His back sprite's a little bit janky, but his front sprite had basically been sold. But as you can see, his feet actually are basically the exact same between the two here. Wow, okay. Starly, basically the same. Yup. Okay, these are basically done, but I like Staraptor's back sprite more. I think, if I remember correctly, Staraptor's wings were actually tucked in, were they not? On the, yeah. So that, yeah, this is a different back sprite. Interesting. Is it, can you actually... Okay, so you can put the shadow there. I'm just wondering if there's a way to... Oh, you can actually... Oh, wait. We can get through the animation frames. So when it comes to these guys... Oh, they didn't have the animation frames from done yet. That's interesting. So I guess the only committed... Oh, so that looks wrong. That looks super wrong. I was going to say, it looks like the only committed on the animation frames for the Pokemon that were... Oh, you can actually move them. I don't know what this one does. I don't want to break anything, but... Yeah, I guess they only committed on the animation frames of the Pokemon they guaranteed knew were done. This one looks more... I don't know. This one looks more close than this one does. His head shape kind of changes. Yeah, this one definitely wasn't done yet. He wasn't finished yet. Yeah, that's right. That's about right. That's about right. Yep. Was that Bidooff's? That was Bidooff's original cry? Wow. Bibarel looks pretty normal to me. Bro, these cries. These cries. Oh, I was gonna say, if Kricketune cry was wrong, I would have been upset. I do not like his back sprite. Gonna say that. He looks like he's gonna cry. Look at Shinx. Oh, they have the original. Oh my god, this was finalized. This was next to finalized. Oh my god, he's so cute. And his cry was done too. Gender variance there. Wow. I can't believe that. Luxio looks pretty similar. Luxray's sprite is different. His back sprite is janked. But his sprite is a little bit different too. His design was there though. Badoo. You stuck. We know what Badoo. We know the deal with Badoo, so that's fine. Roserade had its cry finished, and I believe we basically had like, I'm pretty sure Roserade was done quite early on, so I'm not surprised it's cried. Oh, is that meant to be Cranidos? His back sprite has a whole sprite too, dude. Yo, he actually looks like aggressive instead of cutesy. They cutified him, I think, in his newer sprite. What does Rampardos look? Yo! Okay. Without a doubt, I prefer this design so much more. I like the colors more on the original, but this design is sick. Oh my god. That is such a... I mean, the core concept's there, but the way that it was achieved it went a little bit of a different direction. Yo, I really like that. I can't believe that. I genuinely can't. I love that. Wow. Shieldon, pretty much done. Bastiodon, pretty much done. Burmy, boing. Okay. Wormadam, pretty chill. I guess are there different forms? This is meant to be a female. Is this shiny? This might be the shiny toggle. That's a different shiny sprite then, in that case, right? Oh, there's a form changer. Okay, we have a form changer here. Okay. And that's the horizontal position. I don't know what that is. Okay, so these bottom ones I'm not too sure of. But now we have a shiny toggle here. So this was a shiny sprite. His flowers changed too. Motham. No shiny Sprite here, but it was finished, you can see. What? That's Combi? It looks like a bunch... That's actually kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of scary. He's got the pacifier. What? It's like actually three baby children heads shoved inside of a honeycomb. That's weird. Okay, next. Wow. Again, the design, the initial design is there, but it was achieved. The route they took instead is different. Wow, that looks so different. I mean, it looks kind of scary actually. I can see why they might have changed this one. It does look kind of, gives you give me a shiver down my spine. Okay, next, Pachirisu. What's this? I think it's Weasel's Cry is there. I don't remember Pachirisu's Cry specifically, so I can't comment on that. But I know that's definitely Weasel's Cry. Maybe. Might be a little bit tweaked from the original game. He looks good. No shiny Sprite. Floatzel's pretty good. No shiny Sprite. That's fixed. That's finished. That's 100% finished. That's basically finished too. We have a shiny Sprite, but that definitely doesn't look like it's intended. For sure. But we do have a different form, right? Which was this. And that shiny Sprite definitely is not correct. Shellos. This is quite interesting. Because Shellos' front sprite looks about the same. But if you look at his back sprite, there's some extra little frills down his side, which you don't see in the front sprite. So I'm assuming maybe front sprite is made first. Then they make the back sprite. And then when they update the front sprite. So they might have... The back sprite here might have been what the old one looked like, potentially. We have a shiny Sprite for this one too, which is not correct. Again with Gastrodon, his front sprite does not mimic the back sprite. He has two sort of devil horns almost coming from the side of his head, but the back sprite kind of looks like... It looks like the back of a Minior, but it also looks like a mine, like an old school rounded circle mine with with spikes coming out of it. But the front sprite is basically the same as the original, but the back sprite is not, and the shiny here is also broken. There's the blue, again with the blue one. Oh, let me go down to the Shellos. Yeah, the back sprite does look like just a palette change rather than a sprite change, because he has the wispy sort of head, but it's kept the female Shellos head. Is it female? It's probably southwest and southeast or something like that, or northwest, northeast, I don't remember. Okay, Gastrodon. Ambipom looks pretty good. No shiny Sprite. Drifloon. He looks pretty good. He hasn't got a cry. Drifloon again. No. I say again, but Drifloon. Oh, Bunary Sprite this time. This time it looks fairly similar to the original. It has a shiny texture, which looks almost done. Almost finished. Right there. Lopunny, that looks very, very close to the original, if not the original. Miss Maggie, yo, the back sprite. Oh, Miss Magius. Yeah. End me now, please. This is crazy. No shiny Sprite. Miss Magius looks pretty good. The back sprite, I can't really comment on, unfortunately. Honchkrow looking pretty... Oh, I noticed. You notice something here? His back sprite looks, slightly different in design. If I go look at his back sprite in the finished game, it definitely looks different. So interesting. Okay, I think his front sprite is actually the same as it was in Diamond and Pearl. There's no shiny sprite. Interesting. Glameow looking a little bit more like Glameow. That's fine. No shiny sprite. Purugly looking pretty good. Some of the back sprites, I have those. Most of the back sprites are actually just not finished. But that's fine. Chingling. That's pretty normal. Stunky. Oh, Stunky's back sprite looks a bit more... Is that that feels overly detailed. Obviously, I'll show you on screen, but I'm just making sure that I'm not being stupid. But yeah, no, Stunky's sprite does look different. It does look different. It definitely got redone. It looks fairly similar, but he's more chunky in the original one. I say the original one, but the later releases. The final release. And he had more of a thicker tail, really. But the front sprite basically actually that's changed too. Very, very minor changes, and the color of the fur is white instead of a brown. Yeah, the brown on the skunk tank, it's more like a white color instead. No shiny Sprite. And he's basically done, okay. Bronzor looks different. I mean, the design is the same. The Sprite just looks super different. And you can see where the artist is kind of like trying to, you can see they've double lined over the right side of Bronzor's back Sprite. Yo, Bronzong was meant to be, they designed, yo, that's interesting because Bronzong shiny is green. So maybe, I think Bronzong was actually gonna be green originally, potentially. Yeah, this was definitely in the works. That's crazy because Bronzor's blue, and then he goes green. But I guess they might have said no, like we can make that the shiny Sprite, and we'll keep the same blue color scheme. The cry we've been listening to the entire time until I saw it was Bonsly, because if you remember in the other demo that I looked at, or the other beta, the first Pokemon in that line was Bonsly, so it's just using Bonsly's cry. That's why I keep hearing it, and it wasn't until I saw the Pokemon that I realized it was his cry. So that's Bonsly. Bonsly was basically, you know, he was done, wasn't he? Because he was in the other game, so... Mime Jr.'s cry is there as well. Happini. Chatot's cry was here too. I believe Chatot was in the demo, so potentially. Yo, Spiritomb's back Sprite? That changed. That definitely went through a change. Wow. Look at Phil. Look at him. His front Sprite looks pretty much the same. If I look at Diamond's Sprite, though, this one basically got redone. But I think I prefer the colors used in this one. They're more saturated. I don't like the black outline, but I do like the colors better, I think. They're roughly the same, but it's a little bit more saturated. What is this? Is this meant to be Garchomp? That's the most... Bro, that's the biggest change that we have seen yet. Gible, Gabite, and Garchomp. That's what they were going to look like originally? Oh my god, that's crazy. I did not expect that. I mean, the first one was Torterra. Torterra had the biggest change at that point. But this is completely different. We could totally see this as maybe these two specifically as new Pokemon. But maybe they might even reuse these designs. I think I prefer Gible and Gabite. So I definitely think they made the right decision, but I could definitely also see these Pokemon being like reused in a future game, and maybe even this being a potential, like, you know, Cantonian, Galarian, Alolan form for Garchomp in the future when we get like another remake or new region. I could definitely see this being repurposed as an alternate form to Garchomp, sorry, in a different region. That's insane. I did not see that coming. They look basically finished too. The front sprite, not this one. That one looks like it was basically done on the front sprite end, for the most part. Wow, that's crazy. Munchlax's design was done really early because, like I said, same with Bonsly, they were in Pokemon XD, so they knew what they were doing with them. That's Riolu. Riolu's sprite is basically the same, no shiny. Lucario's sprite is completely different from the previous one that we saw. He looks way different now. Hippopotas? Oh my god, he's so barren. Yo, Hippowdon looks fire! Yo, oh my god, were they gonna still do the gender differences? You can't select them. Yo, his color scheme is actually so sick. His color scheme is actually so sick. So this was definitely really early on. And the design concept is basically there with the sand coming out of like the holes in his back. But this got a really big change. Because obviously they're the two different gender variants, which you can't actually change here. There's no difference. But wow. That's crazy. Skorupi back sprite looks very, very minimal. Very basic. Drapion looks basically done here. Krogunk looking pretty good too. Back sprite looks pretty clean. It's not finished, but it looks pretty clean. Same with Toxicroak. I actually think I prefer how they did Carnivine here. Again, it's very basic. There's no shading. It's like very, very base design. But I think I like this one more. Maybe? Okay, Carnivine, cool. Your Finneon was meant to be white instead of blue? It looks a little bit derpy. It looks a little bit like, you know, stretched out from the front. But okay. And then, yo. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I definitely prefer that over the current Luminion. Without a doubt. How far is it? Did it have another frame of animation? Did it have an alternate? No, that looks really cool. Luminion is one of the most forgotten Pokemon. And I actually, in hindsight, I think, from like a developer's perspective, I think they should have done this with it because I think it looks really cool. And this is one of those Pokemon, I think, that when Gen 6 came out, they would have added Fairy type to if it looked like this. I don't know why, because I mean, like, well, if you look at the colors, it looks like a Fairy type to me. So I definitely think like it would have been one of those Pokemon that would have gained Fairy type if it had gone with this design. I actually really like this a whole lot more. Mantike, again, I think this one's done pretty early. Snover looks pretty much the same. Interesting. It kind of looks, I don't know why, but the eyes, it kind of looks more feminine. I don't know if that's just me. Interesting. And then, so what is... Okay. I kind of like this sprite, you know. This looks like it was basically done for the most part, and then they maybe changed the... I think this pose is more dynamic than the original. Because in the originals, Abomasto's always just kind of just sat there and not really made much movement. Having the side perspective with his leg raised on the right side looks his right leg looks pretty good. I actually kind of like this. It's kind of funny, but yeah, I like it. That's cool. Weavile was basically finished. Ooh, that shiny sprite. You can see that it's not finished, but the baseline for it, the green and the red, I actually really like that. Obviously, it goes to pink and yellow in the finished games, but I actually think I like that green and red. I really like that. Okay, 462, Magnazone. He was basically done. My eyes immediately drawn to back sprite, Licky. Like I said before, they probably did front sprite first, then back sprite. Then if they made any revisions, the front sprite was the first one to change. As you can see, they obviously went with a different design the second time round for Licky, and you can see the back sprite of what it would look like originally. There's gotta be some artist out there that can maybe do like a mock-up potentially. Because to me, it looks like his head is kind of, there's the 3 spikes, and then just below the last spike on the front, you can see like a lip, like a rounded front by like where his arm is. And that's probably where his head was gonna be. But then where would have his tongue gone? I don't know where I wish we could have gone early and had the original front sprite for this. Because his back sprite is completely different to his front sprite here. Okay, there's nothing else. Is there no gender variation here? No, okay. Or forms. I was looking at forms. This is the form changer here. Okay, that's interesting. Rhyperior looks pretty much the same. I think his back sprite looks a little bit different, right? Tangrowth looks pretty normal here. Electivire's sprite has changed from the other demo that we looked at. And yo, Magmort was very early. You can see the original poses there though, for sure. The pose is basically there. This was probably not finished yet. I was about to say it looks like Latios. Is that That's Togekiss, right? That's another huge difference. That looks like a Lati more than anything. It looks like the Mega Lati. Wow, I mean, maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but you know what I'm saying. You can see like the blue and the white and the triangles. I think I definitely like the new one. It looks a little bit too sinister to be a Toga Pokemon. But I do like this design. I could definitely see this being, I mean, they could have gone Mega. They could have gone Mega Togekiss and gone with a design like this. Again, maybe a variant in the future could happen. It looks really cool. I like it. It looks a bit derpy, obviously, because it's not finished. But I think if they had finished it, it could have looked really good. Oh my god, yeah, Mega. I actually prefer the newer design. This one has like a more of a, like an army sort of like infantry color scheme. And you can see that its tail looks like it's like, looks like it has maybe a weapon on the end of his tail. I think I prefer the final release, the final version of Mega here, but I don't dislike this one. I will say I don't dislike this one at all. Leafeon very early. The front sprite looks pretty much done. Back sprite looks you can see the bases right there. Glaceon, same thing basically. Gliscor looks fairly similar too. His back sprite is hilarious. His back sprite is hilarious. He's just raising one claw up into the air. That's so funny. Magnazone, for the most part, done. Porygon Z, it's front sprite. But I actually think this back sprite may have been a hint at a different design here. If I go back to his original back sprite, his arms are up. Yeah, I actually think that this Porygon may have gone through a design revision because his back sprite, while it looks fairly very similar, it's not exactly how I would expect. Because you can see his arms are pink, and his arms in the front sprite are blue. And now his arms are complete. If you see his right arm, it's detached from his body completely. So I have a funny feeling that this Porygon Z, there was one too that we could have seen that we didn't get the chance to. Interesting that. Gallade's back sprite sucks. Oh my god. That's really bad. But his front sprite is basically the same. There is no way this is all we get for Probopaz. He doesn't belong here. He doesn't belong here, bro. What does he look like? This is so funny. Why does he look like that? What did they do to you, bro? Oh my god, I'm so glad that they did you justice in the final version. Look at his face, man. I might make an emote for this. You know, when anyone asks me a question, yes. The answer, yes. And then this. Oh my god. His eyes, dude, that's funny. That's really funny. Dustoir's basically done. Frostlass looks pretty close to done as well. This is Rotom? That's Rotom? I saw the dex number and was like, I didn't know who it was to begin with. I looked at the dex number and I was like, it's Rotom. That is so crazy. We would never have known. Are the forms here? The forms are not here. I want to check. They didn't do any of the forms. It was just a little electric ball with eyes. This has got to be super early for Rotom. They must have had the idea of him going into machines and stuff. And originally he was just going to be this blue little spark. I could not... Bro, that's actually nuts. The whole Rotom Game Boy thing would never happened. He would maybe not become a mascot as well. Because the only reason I love Rotom so much is because I was able to connect him on my channel so much. And this is crazy. My son, he's grown up so much. Uke's, oh, we have another design change here. We have another design change. Look, so Uxie's front sprite is how it is, but look at the back sprite. Again, the trails, the design process for sure has to be front sprite, back sprite, then front sprite first. Because this back sprite is, it's completely, well, it's not completely different. It is fairly different to what the front sprite looks like, right? And let me go to, if you go to Uxie's original back sprite in Diamond and Pearl, it's a different pose, and the head is like more sort of like sleeked back hair almost, and the back sprite has this main part on the front and then a couple on the back, and then it also has these antennae trails almost, if you will, right there. So that, again, another design change on the Uxie. Uxie and Mesprit were edits of each other, just with different heads. And yeah, Mesprit had a design change too. And the same with Azelf. All three of them are basically using the same back sprite as a template. All their head shapes are completely different. Well, this one's fairly similar, but this one's Azelf's is completely different. Very interesting. The emotion Pokemon were changed. Wild. Dialga is basically, concept-wise, Concept-wise, Dialga's basically there. He just needs a lick of paint. You know, like a fresh lick of paint, a bit of polish on the sides. He looks a bit jagged. They're trying to fit a big Pokemon into a tiny resolution. I'm pretty sure they must have upped the resolution or something for the sprites. Same with Palkia. They both look kind of jagged for the most part, right? Especially their back sprites. Heatran, design-wise, is the same, but its sprite is completely different. It looks, you know, actually, for a lot of these sprites, they remind me of like the Gen 3 sprite art style. Because this was like a Gen 3 sprite to me. So... what is... Look at this dude. Look at him. Regigigas, man. I can't believe that. Oh my god. I mean, again, design-wise, he's basically his back sprite. His back sprite is so poor. Mate, no, he looks alright. His design is there, but the pose is so funny. Why does he look like he's on his way to Tesco to get his shopping? Oh my god. Oh, Jesus, that's so funny. Again, it's very... I think the fact that it's so baseline, it's so bare bones, and so early is the funniest thing about it. But that pose, it's so good. Oh my god. What it... Landorus? Landorus was Gen 5. What Pokemon is this? What is Dex 487? What is 487? Giratina. This is what Giratina was going to look like? Okay, I think so far, out of all the designs that we have seen, that is the biggest difference. That's like a completely different direction. Like, completely different direction. I really wonder what this would have looked like finalized. I guess maybe they hadn't really fully fleshed out or thought about the idea of the third Pokemon in the trio, right? The legendary trio. In terms of like Palkia, Dialga, and then the third game. It might be Platinum hadn't been thought of yet or whatever. Wow, that's a huge difference. Cresselia's back sprite looks a bit derpy, but she's there. Fiona, pretty normal, standard stuff. Manaphy? Manaphy was done early. Yeah, Manaphy's basically done. The back sprite needs a little bit of work because it looks more Gen 3 than it does Gen 4. Right? Is that just me? I've been right on most of these, I think. So if I look at his back sprite now, oh yeah, it's the pose is the same, but the color, the way that it's colored looks like Gen 3 to me. Said Darkrai! Yo, he looks super edgy. I mean, regular Darkrai looks pretty edgy, but that, okay, I'm indifferent to this. I think that this could have worked if they had finalized it. You know, it looks a little bit small, and maybe they were stuck for ideas on this one. But I definitely think that it looks pretty good. The direction they were going was good. I like regular Darkrai, the finished Darkrai, but I do like this a lot too, honestly. Oh my god, Shaymin got a buzz cut. Shaymin got buzz cut, bro. Shaymin's design is basically there. It looks like a hedgehog, right? But it looks like it got shaved. Like buzz cut down the side. That's actually kind of funny. And finally, last but not least, Arceus. What? Oh, they had the typings. All the typings are there. Oh my god. He looks like a wisp, you know? Wow, Arceus got... They really didn't have a design. That's, again, Giratina and Arceus are my biggest surprises, I think. Arceus looks absolutely nothing like it did. And I really wonder where... I really wonder where they were going with this, specifically. Which direction they were going to go with it when it's finished. because it looks like a wispy ghoul with the eyes, and it's very, 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 very scary, very creepy. And I would have liked to see what it would look like after the detail was put in. But you can see that they had the typing idea ready, because I mean, like, again, they have all 17 types here. So that's very, I guess, you know what it might have been actually? They may have chosen a really basic design with a full colored background, so they could quite easily shift through the colors like this to see, you know, if it would work or not, or for testing purposes or something like that. So this might not have even been the intentional design. It's just something they threw together to test the colors. I don't want to run away with that too much, but that's still crazy. That's still very, very crazy that it looks like that. I think I would have liked to see where this would have gone, you know? And now Bulbasaur and the rest. But it's nice to compare like what we actually got versus what we could have got, and not knowing what that is. But this was a very, very interesting video. It was quite long, so if you got all the way through, hit the like button down below for me. Thank you very much for watching. You know, I love looking at stuff like this, and I'm sure you guys do too from the response we got from the Sun and Moon demo that we did. Speaking of, if you'd like to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description and the end card if you'd like to check out that video. That video was a lot of fun. And like I said, show your support down below if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, because I definitely enjoy doing it, and there's so much more to look at in these prototype games. So thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe to that notification bell if you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.